Hey, so let's try to automate how you send your Zoom videos over to YouTube, right? So what we're going to first do is I'm just going to share my screen here really quickly. Do that, and let's just move that out of the way over there. Now, jump into your Zoom Pro account settings widget screen, whatever you want to call this. Go over here to settings, go over to recording, and then we're going to change the default local recording area. Now, when you create a Zoom video, you can either save it to the cloud or you can save it locally. I have always saved it to the cloud, but I end up running out of space. But if you save this locally and then save it within your local Google Drive file, then you can back it up on Drive. And then from Drive, you can automate that with a Zap over to YouTube. So let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and change my default local recording area. Under the Browse for Folder window that pops up, I want to move on over to where my folder is in Google Drive that I'm going to be saving these files. So you're first going to try to find your Google Drive folder by going to your user folder here in this directory. So my user's name is Margo, name of my dog, right? And I'm going to go down to Google Drive. Got two different Google Drives, one for personal, one for business. So let's go into the business one, right? And let's see, just keep drilling down until we find the right folder. Your folder is going to be named something a little differently, obviously, but basically you want to have a dedicated folder out on Drive where you want to stuff all these files, all these videos over to, right? Anything you're putting out on Google Drive, you should be backing that up. Sorry, not on Google Drive. Anything you're putting out on YouTube, you should be backing that up anyways, just because if YouTube ever decides to ban your account, it's possible. They did that like last spring for some really successful account that has like over 700,000 subscribers or something like that. But anyways, there's my folder. That's where I want to back up these files and have them automatically zapped over. So let's close that. Let's minimize that. And now I want to jump on over to Zapier or Zapier, however you pronounce it. Zapier, I believe. And then let's create a new Zap. So I'm going to go into apps. There's like 3 different ways you can start creating a Zap here. One of the ways you can go into apps, and then it takes you to this where then you can start searching for apps, or you can start seeing which one's up here. I want Google Drive. I want to select that. And then YouTube is surprisingly not one of the first ones listed there. So I'm just going to go ahead and search for YouTube here. Select that. And then you've got an array of options down through here. I want the first one up here. I want publish YouTube video from Google Drive. So let's connect. All right. Okay. Yes. New file and folder. That's exactly the option that I wanted. Sometimes whenever you're setting up these apps, there may be 2 or 3 different triggers. This one only had 1. I already set up my Google Drive. It's already connected. Good to go there. I'll go ahead and test it just to be on the safe side, make sure everything's all happy. All right. Save and continue. Let's move on. Okay. Now I got to drill down into my folder in Drive to find where I'm saving these videos, right? Now, their little selector that they have in here, it's a little funky in Zapier. You can't just, like before when we were like in one fell swoop kind of going down the directory in Windows to try to find the right folder. You can't do that here. It's more iterative. I can select one folder and then it knocks me out of the selector and I have to go back into the selector. So I'm in the selector right now. I'm going to go to mobile funnels and then I have to go back into the selector again. And I'm going to go into this subfolder. And that's still not the exact folder I want. I want to dig in a little deeper. So let's keep going. YouTube, there it is. Bam. All right. Let's click on continue. Okay, looks good. Now, you're going to get a few different like test files that show up out here. They're just samples, basically. That's what you're going to be using for testing this Zap to make sure it's going to work right. So let's see. I'm just going to see which one it is I want. Is that it? I'm looking for a specific, I'm looking for this one, this mobile funnels client dashboard summary.mp4. The reason why I'm looking for that is this test will only work if it's looking for a brand new file. So by that I mean like a file that I don't have in Drive. I mean, I do have in Drive, but I don't have in YouTube, okay? If I had all the same files both in Drive and YouTube, this Zap test would not work. It would only work going forward for any new files that are saved out here. But let's go ahead and select continue. So I selected that particular file just because I just added it. Let's see, upload video, select continue. All right, and then I'm going to leave this option here as private. That's fine. You don't need to change that. I'm going to select test. Okay, and if I didn't want to use this YouTube account here, which I could rename this as like the Mobile Funnels YouTube, make it a little bit more clear. If I wanted to use 2 or 3 different YouTube accounts or channels out here, I could add in more, but I'm just good with this one. So let's go ahead and save and continue. Why you might want 2 or 3? If you have an agency, you can have videos that you want in your agency, and if you also have like a personal brand with a YouTube account for that, you could also upload those videos in that personal brand. That way, you got more dispersion of your content out there, right? So let's go ahead and select save and continue. Okay, now sometimes it will pre-populate with values in these fields. Sometimes it won't. This time it was smart enough to be able to pull it in. It selected, and if it doesn't, you can just select this little option over here on the far right. You can select different options over here that make sense. We're trying to map to what makes sense, right? So it was able to see the title as being this file name, which is fine. I'm going to leave it that way. I don't want to change that. Whenever I actually publish the video later on, I will go in and change it to a video name that I really want. I'll change the description, I'll add in tags, and then make it no longer private, and then I'll put it in a playlist. But I'm not going to do any of that right now. I just want to give it the file name. It needs It needs 3 different fields to be filled out: a title, a description, and a video. It's totally okay to have the file name as the description. That's fine for now. Video, leave that alone if it says exists but not shown. Let's go in here and let me show you what this is actually representing. So this is the file value that's in our selector, exists but not shown. So what does that mean? Okay, so your file itself, it has a whole bunch of random characters for the coding of the video. So that means nothing to Zapier when it's pulling it in, so it just shows exists but not shown. That means the file is there, it's just, it doesn't want to show all that garbage, right? Doesn't need to. So that's good. One more thing though, this is important. Select show advanced options, change privacy status to private. Because if you're creating a bunch of Zoom content and you're not quite ready to have all that out on YouTube yet, you need to go in and change your title, description, video, tags, and maybe you want to see, you want to vet the file first to make sure that you actually want it out there. That's why you want to set this to private. So make sure you got that done. Don't worry about this publish at option. Tags, you could automate the process of adding in tags. It's not necessary, I don't think. You can go in and add more video specific tags that make more sense when you actually decide to go publish this later. So leave that blank for now. Notify subs, keep that off. Make sure that says no. You don't want your subs to know that you just uploaded a private video. You can notify them later when you actually make the thing public. Okay, select continue. This is looking pretty good. One other thing though, let's see, I could go ahead and send this to test to YouTube. There's a problem. I have to add in one more step. Why do I have to add in that step? Because when Zoom creates a video for you and saves it to Drive, it's going to create 3 different files. There's going to be one that has like audio and video, which is what you want out on YouTube. There's going to be an audio only, and then there's a third one. I forget what the third one is. Doesn't matter. You just want the one that has, it's a .mp4 file extension, right? What's .mp4? It's just it's like DOC for a Word file or XLS for Excel file, right? Okay, let's see. I need to add in my extra step. Move that down. Okay, let's go back in the browser. Oh, I had to expand that out. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay, let's see. Give me the option to add a step in. Maybe it wants me to test it first. Let's go ahead and test this. Send test to YouTube. So this one will be fine just because it is an MP4 file. But I want to avoid erroring out of Zaps later on where 3 files are uploaded into Drive. So let's see. Go ahead and finish this. That was fine. If I go over here to YouTube really quickly, we'll check this on a second. It's going to take like a minute or 2 for this to actually upload the file. Well, let's go back over here. So my Zap is on. I need to name the Zap. So let's go to see it on your dashboard. And let's see. Yeah, that's good enough. Publish YouTube video from Google Drive. It's good enough. I guess I could, let's see, I could publish. Good enough, right? Okay, so I've renamed that to something that makes a little bit more sense. Now I need to go in and add my additional step. Let me move this little zoom box here. And right here, in between these two steps, trigger step and the action step, we got to add in a filter step. So let's select filter. And then this is fine, only continue if, select save and continue. All right, so these three drop downs, this is critical that you pay attention here. So select for the first option, let's see. It's probably at the top where it said file. I'll select that. Actually, MIME type. That's what I'm looking for, MIME type. There we go, MIME type. You can go Google what that means. It just pertains to videos, but like the type of video. Okay, so MIME type. So, okay, we're setting up a filter where any file that's uploaded to Drive will pass on to step 3, the action step, only if MIME type text contains, so contains, and then put in MP4. So whenever Zapier is looking at this file, these files that are out in Drive, it's looking for new files, and it's looking to see if the MIME type has MP4 in it, okay? If it doesn't, it's not going to proceed. If it tried to proceed, if we didn't put this filter in, it's going to error out. And I'll show you what that looks like when it errors out. Let's see, test and continue. That looks good. Select continue. And then step 3 is fine, we already did that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and if I wanted to, I could drop this into a particular folder. I'm just gonna leave it there for now. It's like in the home folder. And then turn your Zap on. Make sure your Zap is on. If you don't do that, then you're not gonna have anything automated. Okay, awesome. Let's go back to our dashboard. So there's our Zap, it's turned on. We've got a 3-step Zap here. And now I wanna show you what happens if the Zap fails. I'm gonna go to task history. You can see these 2 Zaps right here that failed. The reason for that is because when I first created this, when I created a different automation for automating Zoom to YouTube videos, I noticed that there was these 2 other files that were getting into Google Drive, and then Zapier was failing because YouTube was not expecting those file types. They were not videos, right? So in order to try to avoid getting these errors, because these are tasks, and you only get so many tasks that you can process with your Zapier plan. In order to avoid burning up a bunch of tasks, you need to put in that additional filter in between the trigger and the action. And that's it. Let's go check really quickly to see if our video has been uploaded to YouTube. Yes, success, there it is. So that's the file that I uploaded automatically to YouTube with this Zapier. Pretty cool, huh? Hopefully that helps you guys.